Hey, greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Bandai Hangout. Today is a very special episode. We are invaded by the awesome people at Team Ghibli. If you love their products, if you're on shop.bandai.com and you see some of those great art crystal puzzles, the plush, anything that they sell, there's so much on the table. We can't wait to show you. Tons of Totoro, tons of Kiki, Howl's Moving Castle, all of that great stuff. So let's introduce the team. We have the ever so tall and secretive Jay. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
I'm gonna slip up some point today and not say Jay, but I apologize in advance. You're so mysterious.
So mysterious.
And so tall.
I'm feeling the GT vibe today, so that's where we're at.
All right. I love it.
We're doing great.
Perfect. And we're also joined by Lynn. How are you doing today, Lynn?
I'm pretty all right. How is everyone?
Fantastic. I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I'm very festive.
I feel like I'm on like the islands.
Good. That's what it's supposed to feel like. We're ending the summer.
It's a vibe, right? It's a feeling. It's a vibe. It helps you inside.
Exactly.
And of course, we're with Marie. Marie, you've been on a couple of our live streams, right? You were on our Anime Feud.
Yes.
And I think Lynn was on Anime Feud too, weren't you?
Yeah, she's the half as tall as film.
Yeah, we have to do that again. That was so much fun. How are you today, Marie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm excited to talk about Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli is maybe different for me because I'm a big film guy. So, I came into Studio Ghibli like Princess Mononoke time, because, it was a big thing. All the American voice actors, just like Gillian Anderson was going to be on it. And then I learned it was like the Disney of the East is what, they said back then. And so I just, that was my introduction to Studio Ghibli. So Jay, what is your introduction to Studio Ghibli?
Spirited Away, 2002. I grew up watching that movie, and as soon as it came out on DVD, I was like, Mom, we have to play this every single day. And at some point, I think I memorized all the words to it, but don't ask me now.
I instantly feel way old because I bet you watched that in 2002 as a child, right?
Yeah. I was like 10.
I was a grown adult, paid my own way to see Princess Mononoke in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. No mention.
Well, let's go to you, Lynn. What was your first introduction to Studio Ghibli?
Howl's Moving Castle. You can't help that you got a beautiful man in front of you and you just be like, excuse me. Excuse me.
It's got the feathers and
then the music and then all that happened. It was just really pretty, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. But now it's not the favorite, but I do enjoy it the most.
And Howl's Moving Castle, that's the next G-Fest film, right?
Yes. They're playing it this Sunday. The Sunday, the 25th, 26th, and they added another day, the 27th, because of popular demand. Oh. And it's going until the 28th.
It's always funny with like Fathom events because like I have like the AMC like movie pass where I can see like 3 movies a week. But of course, Fathom events isn't counted. And it seems like there's so many more Fathom events now. And so I always feel like a real jerk off when I have to go to a movie theater and actually pay money. I'm like, I pay you monthly. And so I was always quick to say, like, you pay for the other movies. You just pay like a monthly fee. But then like when I saw Dragon Ball or when I go like we saw Rocky IV, total opposite of Studio Ghibli. And I always feel weird. I have to go up like the box office and be like, how much money is it to see a movie? Like,
they should have a Phantom Pass kind of version of that.
Just for these special screenings. Yeah, that'd be great.
I actually did the first time they did the Studio Ghibli Fest. They actually did a pass like that to see all the films, and if you bought early enough, you got a little sell of the films. One of the films, I think the one I had is Spirited Away, but so I got that. And it was very fun. So you just go with here's my prepaid ticket. Which screening is open?
What's fun is Cinemark. They do. I know this isn't the movie pass, live stream stuff like that, but Cinemark, they let you watch Fathom events. Like I just saw Clerks 3 this weekend, which is the Fathom event at AMC, so I have to pay. But I also have the Cinemark membership because I'm that guy who has 2 different memberships, and I was able to use my pass. So it's interesting, but it's neither here nor there. So I guess go see it at Cinemark if you have your Cinemark movie club. But Marie, we didn't ask you. What was your introduction to Studio Ghibli?
See, I just realized after this question went around the table, mine's actually really dark.
Oh,
the first time
Studio Ghibli sometimes.
Yeah, my first Studio Ghibli movie I ever saw was at a anime film festival back a long time ago in Long Beach, and one of the films they were showing was Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh. Ouch.
That's my start. Everything else is uphill from there.
So you knew Studio Ghibli as the dark film company.
Yeah, I mean, my mom's seen the like, oh, this is dark. My mother was with me. I was like, oh.
You just walk out of here. Why am I crying?
I'm like, there better be another film right after this. I'm too much, which is a good thing in Japan. They actually paired it with Totoro. I'm hoping Totoro was second, but yeah.
Nice.
So sadly, I kept going with the fandom note after that.
And then it got infinitely lighter after that.
Yes, and next one I think was Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
So
Still a little dark.
Still
Still a little.
Now it's just violent. No.
You're like, this is what Studio Ghibli is about. And then you're like, what's this Totoro guy? He must be a monster that eats kids. And they're like, oh, Studio Ghibli is a different kind of animal.
Yeah, no, then the Castle in the Sky, Pocoroso, and all those other ones.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, very nice.
We would love to hear in the chat what your first introduction to Studio Ghibli, what your favorite Studio Ghibli, all of that good stuff. And so I guess maybe we'll jump into, everyone's got a favorite Studio Ghibli film. I like Totoro because it's like an autobiography for me, really. I feel a kinship to Big Dumb Things, which is why Snorlax is one of my favorite Pokemon. And, we'll spare the other stuff. But we'll go in reverse order. Marie, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film?
Oh, there's so many. It's hard to pick, but...
You have to. Like,
okay.
that you're hanging over a chasm and someone's going to drop you into a violent death unless you tell them your all-time favorite.
Okay, it's tie.
Oh, no, can't. You have to pick one, and all the other ones get erased from existence.
Oh, well, in that case.
I'm kidding.
They're both showing at the same time, and you can only go to one.
Oh,
You-
okay. In that case, I'm going to.
That's a much less violent way to do that.
If I can only see one in the theaters, I would have to go with Cat Returns.
Okay.
So I really, really like that's one of my favorite ones. The other one, in case anyone's curious, is Pocoroso.
Nice.
I really like that one. The imagery in that is just beautiful, and the fact that Michael Keaton voices the English, and like, oh, cool, Batman.
Another Batman.
Another Batman.
All the Batman.
The other Batman. Yeah.
The other Batman. I mean, that's
that's
a selling point.
What about you, Lynn? What's your favorite Ghibli film?
Castle in the Sky, surprisingly or not. Because now I know some people are like, oh, it's a little too slow. And I was like, but have you heard the music? Have you seen the story? It's just everyone growing up. And I'm just like, oh, look at them. They're having an adventure. Something I wish I had. But I really enjoyed Castle in the Sky the most.
And that's what it's all like. I think that's something that's kind of missing from like film nowadays, even animation, is that like that whimsical adventure. Like if you had like a live action like allegory, it'd be like The Goonies. Like no kid today is living the Goonies life. Like when we were maybe kids, we'd go off our bike and have an adventure and stuff like that. But it seems like there's a lot of Japanese culture that's like steepled in like going into the forest having fun. Like like Miyamoto, when he talked about making Legend of Zelda, it was based on like his life in Japan going into the forest and the caves and stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't let my kids go to a forest and a cave. What are you, nuts? But then you see these Netflix shows on Japan, like where they send like kids, like 4-year-olds, to like go run errands and stuff like that. And I'm like, they're taking like the subway and they're
That's
taking
a rite of passage.
I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, I won't trust my kids to go to the mailbox. I'm like, there are people out there. They're gonna take you. You guys are
It's
cute little
fine.
babies.
They'll run into Totoro.
Yeah, Totoro will protect you. He's not the violent monster I thought he was.
Just don't go near No Face.
Yeah, or don't take his money.
Don't take his money. Don't take anything from him. But if Catbus comes by, totally fine.
Yes, you're fine with Cat Bus.
And I mean, the No Face is good advice, anyways. If someone comes to you and say, "Hey, my name's No Face," or something like that,
Just some guy in a cloak, and they're like, "Give me,
Yeah.
you want this?"
you leave.
No, just turn the other way.
Yeah, that's like the Japanese animation version of like a windowless van. You're like, no. But Ms. J, what's your favorite? I went into the Joker voice there.
I know.
What is your favorite Studio Ghibli film?
I'm gonna say Princess Mononoke.
It's a good one.
There was this joke a meme I saw online where, because you know how Disney distributed it for a while, and they were like, well, people have their favorite Disney princesses and like gowns. One's a bookworm. Mine is an environmental terrorist, and I'm like, yes, that's her. I love San.
You got the wrong plush on your thing. Then you got to put the what's the
Yakult.
Yakult? I almost said that, but then I was afraid I was going to say Yakult, like the
drink.
like the drink that my kids
what?
like obsess over sometimes.
Oh,
It's the weirdest thing. Like they won't drink it normally, but like we go to the Angel game and they have like the free Yakults, and we have to go to like center field like 5 times for them to get this thing. That we buy it and they're like, I don't want this. I'm like, you're killing me. Whoa, that's okay, Jay.
A little violent.
Just gonna keep saying Jay so I remember. So this is kind of the get to know you, Team Ghibli. You guys are the brain trust. So if everyone loves the products, we did have a couple people in the chat who said some of their favorites. We had a couple Princess Mononokes, we had a Totoro, and of course Kiki's Delivery Service, which none of you mentioned.
I love Kiki
You
though.
would
Kiki has a
all of them.
lovely
Well,
space in my
I said
heart.
favorite. I did. If you wanted to give us like a top 10, I guess you could.
There's like 10. films are? There's more than
There's
10.
more than 10.
There's like 12, 15.
But there's like a solid 10 that I'm like, all right, that's easy.
You're like, I love them all.
It was
basically.
like back in when we did the anime quiz thing. It was like it was really the top like 6 were on the answer board. So it's like, yeah, I know them all because we could just name them off.
It's 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. You don't have a 1 and a 2. It's just all
I was
amazing.
very annoyed in that because I was the last one to be asked. It's like I had to keep changing my answer.
It keeps it fresh.
Yes.
Well, Maria, then we'll go to you first. Then, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli character, and why?
Oh, that would be the Baron.
Ooh.
From I can't say his full name because it's very hard. It's Baron von Gideon.
Words.
We can Google it. We'll just Google it after.
Sounds difficult.
Just bleep it back in.
He is the Baron.
Yeah, because he's suave, he's cool, he's a little knick-knack little cat figure with a top hat. What's not to love?
I'm a dog guy.
There are plenty of dogs in
I love
Ghibli
cats
films.
too,
You can,
but-
So you like Heen, right?
Yes,
Of course.
Clean.
And he cleans my little desk. His little oops. Sorry.
Duster.
Duster.
Yeah, when we got those maybe like 2.5 years ago,
Mm.
and I remember thinking they're like the most adorable, cool thing ever.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't buy one. I should have.
You should have. They're going by really
I
fast.
Yes.
know.
They're so cute.
And he's a dog.
Yes, he's a dog.
Not that
He's a very weird dog.
I'm gonna have this legacy now on these things. Where like, oh, David hates cats. I love cats. Just
This is
love
why
dogs
the
more.
cats are on my side.
Yeah, all the GGs are over there. Kept Heen over here.
Yeah, like, and you have a Haku has a lot of dog-like traits. So
Oh.
for a dragon. So
Love it.
yes.
What about you, Lynn? Favorite character and why?
Oh,
There's no wrong answer unless it's maybe
Unless it's
I mean, I could go really dark. I'm just kidding.
go as dark as you want.
No. Actually, my favorite is Kiki, just because the way she was growing up kind of reminds me of myself. Because like she's going into adulthood and everything like that, and I'm like, oh look, it's me in another form. I wish I was a witch too.
I want to fly around.
I want to fly around with a broom and have a Gigi next to me. That'd be nice.
Love a talking cat.
And like basically own the town, because you know how every witch goes to a different town.
there it is.
I wish I
I'm
got
not down.
If
Not
they're
cat
cats.
hater.
cats.
But no, I mean it's awesome when you can see like yourself in characters on screen. Representation is important, and just you feel more in the story if you're invested in like, hey, that's like me. Except she has superpowers.
Yeah, and I want superpowers.
I mean, you
Oh.
could.
I mean, you still might.
I was just talking to one of my best friends because she actually moved down from the Bay to LA for grad school, and she's like feeling scared. I was like, no, dude, you're in your Kiki era. Kiki like goes off, lives on her own. She's like learning her witch powers, everything. You're in your Kiki era. You'll be fine. And I told her that, and she's like, oh my god, you're right. I just need to find a cat.
And don't forget, Kiki in the very beginning of the movie gets completely lost, and that's how she finds the
Exactly.
town. So sometimes
Exactly.
you have to lose yourself to find yourself.
Well, now I feel like
Yeah.
I wasted my Kiki period in my life.
You know what? You can
Join
go
the
back
club.
to it.
I can
happen-
revert.
It can happen
Kiki
anytime.
Let's go.
Hear that,
It's
AJ?
never too late.
I got
Never
my
too
second Kiki period coming up here. Your hair looks fantastic today, AJ. I didn't catch the. I mean, this is great for everyone watching who can't see you off camera, but AJ's hair is
Come on.
fantastic. I appreciate it. But Jay, favorite character? It's got to be someone that hasn't been named yet. I'm just kidding. You can share.
Okay, so when I was younger, it was definitely Chihiro from Spirited Away because I felt like her, 7-year-old little brat who's like, I want to do this and I want to do that, but then she gets thrown into a completely new world. But recently, I rewatched Howl's Moving Castle, and I was like, wow, when did I become Howl? Howl's like, Howl's like a really capable magician. Everyone wants his and he's charming. Really like focused on like I have to be pretty, and he has his little depression cave. Don't touch any of his little trinkets. Don't look at his mess. But he's a charming magician.
Oh, you like that? You don't let people touch your stuff? Yeah. Like, I set it up that way.
It's there for a reason.
That's why it's there.
There for a
And
reason.
this is why she's a cat. She just like your hand away.
Leave it there.
She's an expert in her field, but the moment you touch anything out of place, she goes.
Yeah. So I have 2 boys, and boys are rambunctious. So I had a rule. And so my shelves, they're like 5 shelves high. They're like the Billy shelves you get IKEA, whatever. And anything 2 shelves and below that was like within like grabbing range, it was all free game. But they knew that 3rd shelf, I don't touch anything on that 3rd shelf. So it's just what you got to do sometimes. So shout out to someone in chat with probably one of the best usernames, Decepticons Cave of Villains with a Z, which is always important. Says, hail all. I think I meant to say hi all. But hey,
Hello.
thanks for playing. There you go. We need a 1/12 scale SHF Ghibli line, Totoro, Kiki, etc.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
a lot of quietness on the other side of the table.
There has been some model kits, but it's all Nausicaa, which is technically not Ghibli, but also Ghibli.
Not, that's interesting. What? Maybe I'm not well enough versed. What's
It's the first one they did as a group, but it was before they called themselves Studio Ghibli.
Oh, yeah.
Is that why you think there are model kits for that? Because it's not technically under the Ghibli umbrella?
Yeah, it falls in a nice gray area, possibly. But it would be nice to see model kits for other characters in
Like
Studio
a Howl's
Ghibli.
Moving Castle, like the castle.
You think? Imagine how a No Face would work.
I don't know if it scares me.
No, but the castle.
The cat.
The castle is
Yeah,
pretty
the castle.
cool.
The
As a
castle
model.
would be scary to do in a model kit.
That'd be really cool though. Just like think about it as like one of those what was it? Like Lego pieces or like the Star Wars stuff. Just like
Yeah, I mean, we got cup noodles model kits. We got some dinosaur model kits.
You have this giant barrel being held up by 4 chicken legs.
yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fun.
What about the bathhouse from Spirited Away? That as a model kit.
I like it. You can only have one SH figure arts from all of Ghibli. Who is it?
Oh,
3. Or one's got to take a second to think.
I need a second.
I know,
I have my
I know
answer.
Jay has hers
I
already.
have my answer.
What is it?
You Baba. I feel like it'd be a little interesting with all her little jewels and everything. Yeah.
I like it. Just everything Spirited Away.
oh.
I would look at you and be like,
Haku,
why?
but his dragon form.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they do it Shenlong, so it would be really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
I want the Mama Wolf
The Mama Wolf
from
Oh.
Princess Mononoke.
Oh,
You'll
Moro.
notice I don't remember all the names, but
Moro.
Moro, yes, I want her.
Interesting. Collecting once, No Face. I think No Face would be cool if we gave him like a cloth, like a real cool
Oh yeah,
Doctor Strange wire cape level
Mm.
like cloth mixed media. I
Mhm.
think that'd be awesome. I don't like that at all. Hey, Juan's here. Hey, and surprise, Juan. Justin's not here again. I don't think even think he works here anymore. Make sure to remind him of that. He's probably out in the hallway being like, supposed to come in at a certain time, but I've missed my window. So
He's got his face pressed against the window and he's like, let me in.
oh no. His calendar says he's in this thing, so he's got like an hour off, basically. It's not like he's doing anything else. Unless you're watching, Justin, then love you. He's not watching. Now, obviously you guys are heavily steepled into the Ghibli, world, as that's your jobs.
Mhm.
A lot of people may not have a ton of experience with Studio Ghibli, or may have like a passing knowledge, like they know who Totoro is, maybe they know who Kiki. And I think a lot of people know Spirited Away since it was such a huge hit.
Mhm.
Have you introduced people in your families or your personal lives to Ghibli? And how has their because Jay, you experienced Studio Ghibli as a child,
Mhm.
and maybe you're introducing people as an adult to Studio Ghibli. How has their reaction differed from like maybe yours when you were younger?
What's funny is that like I didn't have to try hard to introduce Studio Ghibli to my family. My dad himself is like a really big anime fan. Every now and then I'll leave him alone, and next thing you know, he's binging One Piece. But I distinctly remember I came home from Ponyo came out in like 2009. I was like ending high school. Came home from school one day. My dad's got Ponyo on the TV, and he turns to me and he's like, "Ponyo loves Sosuke." And I'm like, okay, glad you enjoyed this film without me.
I've walked in a very important moment in your life, Dad. I'm just gonna 17.
I'm gonna let you digest this, and then we'll talk about it later. We'll debrief later. Okay, enjoy it.
Now, how has your enjoyment of Ghibli changed? Going from a youth to an adult. Can you appreciate it more, or is it one of those things to where like nothing's gonna match the love you had as a child for something?
It's definitely changed. Like going back to me rewatching Howls earlier this year. As a kid, when you watch Howls, you're like entranced by the magic. You think Howls is the coolest thing ever. I rewatched it as an adult, and I'm like, no, Sophie's a badass. She's the coolest. She's so like level-headed, and she does so much. And I'm like, Sophie's the person I want to be. Sorry, Howl. But like, I just like your perspective changes, and I think that's the magic of Ghibli films is that no matter what age you watch it, you find something that really pulls you in.
What about you, Lynn? Is there anything that's changed your perspective from something you saw maybe, however many years ago versus something you've seen recently? Like you've changed your mind on maybe like a character who you hated, or someone that you loved, and now you're like, man, I was a dumb kid. Why did I like this person?
Actually, yes, there was one, and she might hurt me on this.
Uh-oh.
That's fine.
Do we need to separate you
That's
two?
fine.
No. It's Chihiro. I actually didn't like, as I grew up, I didn't like her at the end, and I was like, why are you? I don't understand. But in that film, I was like, I really like Haku, because I really like Haku already, because it's a pretty boy. So I was just like, all right, let's go for him. But it's just like one of those. Haku was doing something good, but then Chihiro, you're just being a little child, which she is. But I'm just like, please grow up just a little bit, just a little bit. But and then her parents are just kind of eat them. It's fine.
Just little things, as you do.
So a lot of things changed throughout the entire thing. Like even Castle in the Sky for me was just like, oh, I really like the movie. Why do I like the movie? I wonder why. And then it's just from then it was just like I really like the story, and then it went from I really like the music, and then it just keeps going. It was just how beautiful Castle in the Sky was, because like the story of her background and just going from there. And then I was like, I don't hate this movie at all. Like there's something I don't hate from this movie, then it's just gonna stay as my favorite, and so on and so forth. That's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good storytelling. As someone who's consumed a lot of terrible children's television because of my two children, it's the movies that parents can also enjoy, or that we get something else out of it. Like kids, like, oh look, Lightning McQueen, he's fast and stuff. And not that I'm ever going to compliment the Cars franchise, but and then we can see something like in a subtext or something that's like, or we can see that like it's teaching our kids something about sportsmanship or cooperation, or just not being a what to other people and stuff like that. And so that's just fantastic storytelling. I think that's like the hallmark of Ghibli. Like everyone gets something different out of it. Prince of Mononoke, someone will watch like, oh my god, I love the violence and this and that, but there's a significantly deeper meaning behind that film. So what about you, Marie? From your first introduction to Studio Ghibli as this violent horror franchise meat grinding factory, to
just depression films,
just the happiness,
just crying endlessly. Oh my god, like it got a lot lighter afterwards. No, I got introduced to Ghibli when I was a mid-teen or so, or a lot. So I didn't
just edgy Marie, just goth phase, like just deep eyeliner, watching Ghibli,
close,
Needing a Totoro.
hating on Totoro.
No, never hated Totoro, but no. So it as I grow older, it's one of the things that there's nice things, not the films themselves truly change, but knowing that there is a larger catalog for the Studio Ghibli films, that there is something out there for you as you get older. Like this is going to be fairly obscure for a lot of people. Only Yesterday, where it's an older woman looking back on her childhood and kind of going back and forth between her present day and her childhood as an 8th grader, and just kind of seeing the reflections of youth and growth and all that stuff, and finding your place. So it's a really good film. I really like it. It's very solemn. There's not much happens in it, so it's very fun though.
Nice.
I like it a lot.
Mike's Monsters in the chat saying Ghibli is timeless. I know Mike's Monsters would love some Monster Arts Ghibli reimaginations.
Ooh.
I have a shirt that Adam said I can never wear to work anymore. It's a Totoro, and he's kind of eating San Francisco. So I love it to death.
I have the Totorozilla shirt too. Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
Which part about Ghibli?
Oh.
What's your favorite Ghibli character, and has anything changed for you in the last few years?
I didn't watch Totoro till probably a year into my Bandai career. So 3 years ago, I watched Totoro for the first time. So my introduction to Ghibli was kind of like Marie's, to where it was a lot of the darker fare. The Prince of Mononoke was my introduction to Studio Ghibli. And then because, I was a filmmaker and I loved film, I kind of went back and started watching more of the catalog. And of course I watched Spirited Away, like everyone in the world has seen and stuff like that. And I remember being like, it's all right, but I like Prince of Mononoke better. And so, but now as I'm an adult, I'm really, really into like happiness, and Totoro just makes me so happy. Even Justin will walk around and be like, like he'll be singing the song and I'll just like,
That's Ponyo for me. I'm just like, Ponyo's just so happy. It's so cute.
Yeah. I mean, even what was it? Earwig and the Witch that recently came out. Even that, I mean, no one's going to accuse that of being Miyazaki's best, but it kind of was fun. Had the way the music was and stuff like that. So I've seen my taste kind of change from the the edgy like Blood Princess Mononoke to kind of like the more like lighter and happy fare. And if that makes me a sellout, I'm a sellout. I'll wear that with a badge of honor. But we have a ton of cool products on here, so I don't know who wants to kind of walk through the amazing catalog, because we, a lot of our brands, like Tamashi, make awesome figures. Hobby makes models. We have a lot of action from Ghibli and a lot of diverse products. So I don't know if you guys rock paper scissor three-way to see who was going to be the one going through it, or if you just want to go with what's in front of you. But
probably what's in front of you.
Who wants to start?
The Jay, do you want to walk around the table and show us everything?
Walk around the table, so it's always.
She can't walk around the table.
I know she can.
She cannot.
She hurt her leg.
Yes.
Excuse me. Just to be fair, give you a chance to speak. But what's interesting about like our World of Ghibli catalog is we have a little bit of everything. Like we start like over here we have plush. But we have a massive plush line that's only going to get even bigger. So if you like plush, stay tuned to our socials. We have a lot coming your way. But like we have little bean bags, and like just who doesn't want a Totoro with them all time? Mm-hmm. And like we're not limited to plush. We move on to like paper crafts.
Yeah, so like for the paper crafts here, we have all the displays. These are actually coming in very soon, so definitely look into that because they're actually a lot of fun. It's good hobby to enjoy, because like who doesn't want the Ikemen series? Like look at them.
Beautiful men.
Look at them.
Beautiful Men series, yeah.
Yes.
Steven can go to camera 2. He's sitting there playing on his, the one that was close up on the paper theater.
Show
Right here.
Show Hal again.
You're otherwise distracted.
He was distracted by the pretty boys.
So, how the epitome of pretty men when it comes to Ghibli.
Yeah, I mean, like look at him. Like I would want to buy him like 3 of them, have them in different places.
Yeah, and the paper theater makes such a great gift because it would fit so nice into a box or like a gift bag. Like you got someone their present, and you're like, oh, I feel like it's a little lad to get out like one more thing to where you normally get like a bag of Sour Patch Kids or something like that. But paper theater would fit in there so nice. You give them a fun little project, and at the end, they have a fun little keepsake that they can put on their desk for their favorite Ghibli movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's different paper theaters for the Ghibli series. So right now we have the House, Moving Castle. We also have Haku, which is, I believe it's down here.
Yeah. Down there. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we have Ashitaka, which is over here. And then I'm blanking on his blanking on his name, Seiji from Whisper of the Heart.
Whisper of the Heart, yeah.
Yes. And
what's like cool is I heard somebody call these like model kits out of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like little tiny crafts, you like spending your time, meticulously with pieces, like these paper theaters are really cool. And they even come in a little ball series if you want to put them on display easily.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fun because they're different complexity levels, right? You start at like a 1, and then as you get better, you work your way up.
Yep, up to level 5.
How long does it take you to do a level 1 versus level 5?
Level 1, okay, for average, bless you. For average people, it would be 30 minutes, usually is for level 1.
So an hour for me, okay.
And then it goes up to like an hour for level 2. Level 3, you get into the 3-hour, 4-hour, and then 5-hour marks for the stars after that.
Wow.
So 5 takes me up usually about 5 hours on average.
And they have different sizes. These are kind of like the standard size, but they have ones that are like kind of like double the width.
Yeah, about a little bit like that big. Yeah.
Wow.
Marie, you're a pro at paper theater.
This one took me a while.
Yeah. AC Velociraptor. I wonder who that could be. I did see a comment. Was it someone talking about the Spark openings, talking about wanting more plush? Who would you like plush wise? Obviously we got a ton of Totoro and Kiki. We got some suit sprites up here. We got the Heen Duster. What's something you guys would want to see as far as the plush line goes? And how big do you want them? I mean, I want big. Like we have the 7-foot Totoro at shows. I just want that and like a corner of my room.
Else, but that thing is priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
been a little too tempted just to like haul that, but somebody might freak out if they see that giant Totoro just moving on its own as I'm trying to like carry it out of the show.
It almost seems like it'd have to be like an inside job. Like you have to get inside it, and like when no one's looking, you just like move a couple inches. And then, so slowly you just keep moving, and eventually you're outside.
So if you go to a con and you see the giant Totoro start moving, you know who it is.
Yeah. Or if you see Jay and it's moving still, then you need to be terrified because it has come to life, and we got a Toy Story situation going on.
Totoro's actually shown up in Toy Story
Yeah,
3.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, doesn't say a
Took me a
word.
minute.
he's
I mean,
not
Do you just want to hear him start screaming?
Good point. Anyways,
with a little bus stop and everything like that.
just start screaming. The cat bus shows up here.
So what's in front of you, Marie? We got some stacking dolls. We
Yes.
got some cool stuff.
So we have little stacking dolls here. You can kind of see. Yeah, he fell over. That's a mushroom. So these are kind of like, you see how high you can stack them, get them as all the intricate kind of styles and designs. We have several different types, but we have the Totoro one here. And they're also just fun to have, like the little, if you just like having little knickknacks around your desk and having decorate. These are just fun to decorate everything with. Oh, he fell over.
How many can you stack on top of each other?
I am terrible at balancing. So I can usually get 3 or 4.
I always love the packaging has like 9 things on top of each other. You're looking at like, no.
I'm like, yeah, she's the stacking expert.
Really?
Yeah.
How high can you go?
Well, for these, I'm not sure because I never actually played them. But I had another set of the Kirby no Sekana ones,
Right.
and the tower that you ever see at the conventions recently is the one I built.
But you can't do the side of the box shows all Kirby's stacked.
Okay, that one
That's
I can only
impossible,
go
right?
to level 5, like up to the 5, and then once I try to hit the 6th one, it always falls over. So
Justin's got the hack. He puts like 4 Kirby's and then the star and then 4. He's like,
So he's
look,
like making
that's
a Kirby
9.
sandwich. Just-
That's 9 things stacked.
Yeah,
I'm
the,
like,
the one I have is Kiki, so I just have it for all the cats. So it's just Gigi and his family, but it's like I can get only about 3 high, like the sun cat hanging from the room, and that's about it.
I feel like wherever I'm at, it's always moving. Like I'm on the 2nd floor of this building, and anyone walks by me, it's like rah 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 rah. And so I always feel like it's not my fault. It's the floor.
It's
Yeah.
Bandai's moving castle.
Yes.
Yeah. there you go. See, you just renamed our office in Irvine.
Yes.
It's the Bandai Moving Castle.
Exactly.
We're gonna tear
Oh,
down all our
imagine.
signs out there and put out new signs.
We're gonna put chicken legs on this building.
I think
Very, very strong.
we'll need more
ones.
than 4.
I mean, how did it with the House Moving Castle only have 4? I think
Yeah.
we got to be accurate to the source material.
Magic, but
yeah,
yeah.
we need some magic.
We
4
put-
chicken legs will
we
be
can
fine.
have also a calcifer. Like,
Yeah, that's
We need
what
a
we're missing,
calcifer.
actually.
Yes,
We're
we need
literally
a
missing the
fire
heart.
demon.
Okay.
If we put 5 legs on this, people would complain in the comment section.
Exactly.
Trust me.
It's not accurate.
Yeah, they'd be like, Hal only had 4 legs, and you guys have 5 legs. You guys are liars.
Our building is significantly bigger than the castle.
They're like, do you guys even know Studio Ghibli?
No.
You wait.
I can go off about the book in 5 minutes, but no.
What about the
Let's see.
art? Oh, this is
Oh,
an art. Oh, it is.
This is art crystal. So this is
Man,
art crystal.
Let's be crazy. Let's turn the sign on. I don't know why it wasn't on earlier. Hang on.
Steven's locking
Put
me.
it up against there. It will, little Oh, you kidding me there, Steven? What are you doing to me? Yeah, it doesn't really show,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So-
they're awesome.
So yeah, this is art crystal. So it's pretty much is a clear plastic puzzle. So it, as you can see, it stays together. This is not glued. I can actually pop this out. Anyways, so oh no,
You popped 2 out.
I only meant to pop out 1.
It's okay.
But anyway, so as soon as I find it, I can put it back in. But they hold together really nicely because they're that thin plastic kind of pieces, but they also are see-throughable in some degree. So you can have a light shine behind here and you can kind of see my hand right now. It'll have a nice stained glass effect to it. So I really like these. These are very fun to put together and display as well, because you can see right here, it just goes boop, right, here you go.
Yeah, I was always amazed. I had an aunt and uncle that had stained glass windows in their house. I mean, like you do, I guess. I've never had one in my house, but when we had these, I was always amazed. And so I remember I built some and I put them on like my big sliding glass window, and I'm like, look, we got stained glass windows. And my wife's like, that's fantastic. Now take
You
it
just
down.
buy all the puzzles and like cover your entire
Window,
door
yeah.
with it.
And you just get a nice kind of tape it to the window and you're good.
I
Yeah.
feel so important. I'm like, look at me with my stained glass windows.
And we have 1,000-piece one, so it's like yay big. So it'll be nice
It's like
window. Yeah,
20 by 30.
20 by 30.
1,000
Those are
piece
fun to put
puzzle.
together.
I'll tell you one better one. What is Justin?
Ooh,
Oh,
Justin.
Sparks. She had her suggestions. I love a Tito plush.
Oh, yeah, I
I
forgot to
didn't
mention
see
those, yeah.
one on the site. I was thinking just a small Tito plush, but big plush of various characters would be awesome. Maybe a Haku dragon form plush.
There is a Tito plush. We're trying to work on see what we can get. So
Follow our socials.
Follow
Stay
our
tuned.
socials.
And those are Jay
World of Ghibli US on Instagram and Twitter
and Facebook.
and Facebook.
I
all the
love
socials. Let's go.
I
All
love
our
the,
socials.
I love the person
Follow
who
us
loves the
there.
fox squirrel. I love the fox squirrel. So cute.
Oh my god, yeah.
But backtracking a little because we have off of these. These are our nesting dolls.
Very popular.
Yep. So you can hide everyone inside. just like that.
It's a sneaky sneak.
It's a sneaky sneak, and it goes all the way open, all the way into. So we don't have all of them open. I think the smallest one is actually a soot sprite inside of a corn. Who I think is, who
Which
somehow
is
ran
probably
away.
out there.
Probably out there. The soot sprite probably ran away.
rolled away.
Trying to get you.
Yeah, and then of course we have down here. I don't know if the camera's just. These are our little teeter-totter thingies. So,
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
pretty much, and then you just like, here's No Face, go.
But are you trying hard enough? Can we get them?
You want to knock him over?
You want to knock Bo over? What? Bo? No, not the
that
baby.
baby's gonna start crying.
And then the mama comes, and then you have to deal with that.
I just like to try. We had some other ones in here. I'm like, I'm gonna knock these over.
I love that the chicken got made. The chicken is like in the movie for like 2 minutes, just crowded in a tub with all the other brothers. So it's like, yeah, love it.
But you're not gonna not make a chicken.
Yeah, why not? I like the radish spirit the most, so that's because it's just so fun.
Oops, all right, I skipped over the comment here. What movie should I start with? Jay, what movie should Juan start with? And if you tell him, he's probably gonna watch it today, and then he's gonna tag us all on Twitter and be like, I watched it and I love it. I need more of it.
Do you want him to like cry, or do you want him to feel good?
Well,
Do you want a happy movie? Do you want a sad
well, I
movie?
don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna
Juan's a
ask.
pretty happy guy.
Do you want a movie that says
So you want
something?
to destroy him?
Oh, yeah. You want to destroy his
Well,
happiness.
You can
It's a
start with how I
Wolverine.
started.
Marie,
Or what would you say is just his entry point? Something that he should watch that'll make him want to watch more. So if it's something that'll destroy him and it's going to be like turned off the series, I wouldn't recommend it. But I think a lot
Some
of people
people
would
like
say
to
like
feel.
Spirit Away.
Mm.
That seems to be like the most popular. But where you have a friend, he's just like, here they like, hey, you work with Ghibli. What movie should I watch first?
I would recommend.
And Juan says, I like to live my life like the happy, sad split screen from 22 Jump Street. So both.
A little bit of both.
Well, you can marathon it
do a
then.
double feature.
All right,
Double
what's that double feature?
Um,
I agree, Mike.
I'm gonna say.
Grave of the Fireflies was my entry and not recommended. All
Well, you're
right.
not the only one.
So much crying.
I mean, you watched a movie called Grave of the Fireflies. I don't think we expected
Well, you have to tell me it was on a program. I didn't know what it was.
My double feature would be Mononoke and Spirited Away.
It's a good one.
Mononoke feels like it caters to a little bit of an older audience, and then Spirited Away is like definitely younger, more adventurous. But you get a little like I think they'd be good. They'd be a little fun. Both are adventurous. Takes you out somewhere. Just let your imagination run loose.
And they're both beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as the resident dub guy on the regular band I hang out, who gets so much flack for just being in love with dub, if they were to watch those, Spirited Away and Prince Mononoke, would you recommend them watching the American dub with the American voice actors, or would you have them watch it in the original Japanese?
Oh, that's a good question.
Keeping in mind that I don't think Juan speaks Japanese, so he would be reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, Juan, if you do speak Japanese and I spoke for you.
Oops. You know what? I guess because I did grow up with the dub, I'd say go ahead and watch the Spirited Away dub. It's not bad.
You hear that? Jay's on Team Dub just like me. So you hate me, you hate her too.
Well, you have some really good voice actors in Spirited Away in the dub one, especially since you
Yeah.
have if anyone remembers like the Disney Hercules, Meg is in there. She plays the
Lynn.
Lynn.
Yeah,
Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
The other Lynn.
The other Lynn. So she plays Lynn, in which she does the full on does pretty much just Meg, where she has the whole sass of like, I don't want to help you. Come over here. I need help you over here. So yeah, she's tsundere.
Yeah, she's a
So
little
That's
simple.
exciting because Hercules, as everyone knows, is the best Disney movie.
we have to debate about that later.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
we got
no.
Hades. James Woods as Hades.
Oh no, Hades is great, but we'll discuss later.
Guys, I don't know
So
if this
next
is
time I'm-
that
Off camera.
way.
I'm on that side of the table, Maria.
I love Hercules so much.
We'll
But Danny DeVito's
off,
Phil.
off camera, we don't want to go into my Disney history.
No. I've heard that too many times. Please don't make me go do that again.
Well, what about you, Lynn? What would you recommend as someone that's like an entry point for Studio Ghibli? It doesn't have to be the best one, but something that'll kind of wet their whistle and make them be like, you know what, I want to watch more of this.
Honestly, it would be Howl's Moving Castle. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that one. Dubbed or sub, but preferably dubbed because it's Christian Bale as Howl, so you can't really say no to that.
Mhm.
But I think Howl's Moving Castle would be the best one to start off with. If not, after that, if you want to go a little bit more on the darker side, I guess, Mononoke. But then you also have to make sure you go through Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
Because you have to. There's no questions asked. Just got it in.
Yeah, and like Mike said, Ghibli, they don't just like localize. They go and get like big actors a lot of times to do their dubs and stuff like that. So like I remember that was the big hubbubaloo around Princess Mononoke was the Gillian Anderson, at the height of X-Files. She was going to be one of the main voice actors and stuff like that. And you mentioned Michael Keaton. Christian Bale obviously is not only Batman, but he's Howl.
Yes.
And Gore the God Butcher. But more importantly, Howl.
So, yeah.
I think the dubs are really good too, just because Ghibli made it a rule you can't take anything out of the film. You have to stay as true as possible to our films, and like whatever company decided to dub or try to dub it, they stayed pretty true to it. So it's a great experience either way.
Yeah. Well, you've heard of the Princess Mononoke no cuts story, right?
I don't think I have.
So Miramax was going to dub Princess Mononoke, and they were like, let's edit it for American audiences, trim it down. And he didn't. Miyazaki didn't like that, so they sent the Studio Ghibli sent the head of Miramax at the time, and with a katana that said no cuts. So if that's not telling you something, but no more editing. None of them are edited. That's the main rule with Studio Ghibli, is they can't be edited to come up on the side.
The one time I've met Miyazaki, he struck me as someone who is not to be trifled with, and his vision is not to be messed with. And I don't think he appreciated some of the emotions. But Jay, we know that studio is very protective of their license. We mentioned the no cuts here. Why is it important that we're the official distributor of Studio Ghibli products, and that they should get the official stuff versus going to some random Etsy store and getting some low quality bootlegs?
Because the studio approves of us.
Yeah. So if you support the studio,
We support the
you want to
studio.
support the official stuff.
Better quality items,
better
honestly.
quality, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen some bootleg. It's just fall apart very quickly.
Totoro with 3 ears and
Yeah. So no, this is
antennae.
this guy's the items we have are they're higher quality. They're all like brands trusted by Studio Ghibli to make and preserve the integrity of the character, the spirit of the movie, kind of thing. So they won't go off and do something weird and like. I don't know. I think
weirder than like
I've seen
a castle
some weird
on
bootleg.
4 chicken legs.
Well, yeah, it's true. But
Godzilla Totoro.
Godzilla Totoro. No.
I mean, not that I said that. I guess I shouldn't have outed myself
we don't
earlier
know
in
what
the
that
podcast.
is. We don't know what that is.
Well, where's the best place, Lynn, for them to get these products? shop.bandai.com has some stuff. If they don't have it, where would the best place to send people to, both online and if you have like a local retailer that would carry it?
Oh man,
I asked the hard questions.
that is definitely the harder question.
See, I learned
I was
long
gonna
ago.
say.
Long ago, I learned if I ask the questions, I don't have to answer the hard questions.
Wow.
So,
You're setting me up.
well,
for that. I was going to say shop.bandai.com because we do have our bundles on there for our customers, and we do ship out to our consumers, along with like, I guess you can look into your local retail shops and see if they're, selling the product, and if they're not, then just kind of let them know, be like, hey, I would like to see Studio Ghibli in your store. And then hopefully they'll get some traction and then start talking and get it from a distributor from there. And we'll support the Studio Ghibli from that and get some more, let's see here. What's the word? I'm blanking on the word.
It's okay.
But just
You do it all
some
the
like
time.
to like this entire series. So, I mean, can't help it. Like all of this stuff is amazing. I would like to have a museum in my house, but I don't think I have the funds for that.
Well, it's your lucky day. You can just take all of this home.
Okay, thanks.
Just take it home.
We'll play a fun game. Anything you can fit in your arms, right?
Okay, can I get that giant Totoro then?
It'll be like one of those like Mr. Beast challenges. Like we'll put like a square on the floor, and anything you can stack in that square, you get to keep.
That
Her stacking skills are going to come into play.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It might cost us a lot of money.
I got it.
Barnes and Noble does
Barnes
carry
and Noble is
some
a
of
great
our
place to find.
Yeah.
A lot of studio official World of Ghibli products that we distribute, that we provide. Kinokuniya, if you have one near you. And you know what? If you're adventurous in going to New York Comic Con, we'll be there too with our giant Ghibli booth. That 7-foot Totoro will be there.
And all three of you will be at New York, right? Are all three going?
Not all
No,
of us.
What?
not all of us.
Just me.
Just Jay.
We
I
have
was booed. I'm just kidding. No.
we have to separate the power so it's not too strong in one area.
You got that giant, beautiful Ghibli booth coming to your Comic Con, and you guys are gonna be home. Luckies.
Someone
It's
has
okay.
to
I've
hold
seen
down the fort.
the booth one too many times. So if anybody has visited me at any of the past conventions with Ghibli in there, I was there at some point.
Well, now you guys are celebrities, so when they're gonna see only Jay in New York Comic Con, yeah, I saw you on that live stream. I heard you're the queen of Studio Ghibli at Bandai.
Yes, you're the
I
queen.
think a binder.
Yes.
You have to wear your crown. Get you a scepter.
Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
I'll 3D print you a scepter.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well,
A
Jay,
lot.
No, it's
how
priceless.
has a year and a half or so ago when HBO Max launched and all the Ghibli films went on to HBO Max, and then of course we had COVID, so everyone was at home watching all these streaming services. Do you feel like there's more awareness in the last year and a half, 2 years about Studio Ghibli because of both HBO Max and the pandemic and everyone's streaming stuff?
Definitely. I've seen such a big Ghibli revival in the last year and a half. One of my friends even just got a house tattoo.
Really?
And it's having it accessible on HBO Max allows everyone like us who grew up with Ghibli to show it with younger audience, and the Ghibli magic just keeps going because it's so accessible. All over TikTok, I see people decorating their rooms Ghibli inspired. People are traveling saying oh, this is straight out of a Ghibli film. Ghibli's just in everyone's minds now.
Nice. What was the house tattoo? Was it of Hal or was it of the castle?
It was Hal and Calcifer.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't have it here, but it's the scene.
Where he flames up.
Yeah,
The moving scene, yeah.
yeah.
The funny thing about that is that's actually how he looks in the book the entire time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not a cute small flame. He's actually this towering fire demon.
You know what? Then he'd be big enough to move the Bondi Castle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get a big old chimney fire.
And yes, Juan, if you see Jay at New York Comic Con, she can definitely point you in the direction of the relish tray. So we'll fill her in on that after the show.
Relish.
Relish trees.
That's Justin's. So we bring a bunch of samples, and when people recognize us from the stream or something like that, usually we have something to give them, like a figure or model kit or something like that. So Justin's created his own little you have to ask me this specific knock on the door kind of password. And his have you seen the relish tray?
Mm-hmm.
Which I've known Justin for over 20 years now, and that was his code for he was ready to leave a party. It was if he wanted to leave and he didn't want to be rude to the guest, he would come to me or whoever he came with. He's like, have you seen the relish tray? And I'm like, oh, hey, we gotta go.
We're gonna go look for it over there.
Well, you couldn't have just said that, but it's neither here nor there. So I think we have a couple minutes left. Would love to talk about G-Fest. Howl's Moving Castle, and after that is going to be Spirit Away after Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, Spirit Away is going to be end of October, so around Halloween. If you want to do something fun, not quite spooky, but a little spirited.
If you see New Baba's face,
That's a little spooky, but yeah.
So this weekend is Howl's Moving Castle.
Mhm.
And then we have Spirit Away at the end of October.
Nice.
So stay tuned.
Do we know what's after Spirit Away? Or
I
is it a
believe
secret?
Spirit Away is the last one for Ghibli Fest this year.
oh,
Nice. What's cool about Ghibli Fest is they've done it they pretty much do it every year, with the exception of COVID. Do they typically cycle the films, or is it usually they play the hits type thing? I'm assuming Spirit Away is played every year.
Yeah.
They do cycle a little bit, one or two get dropped so other two can get in, but they do usually play the top ones a lot.
Right. It's like when you go to a concert, you're not going to go see Pearl Jam and they're going to not play Jeremy, but they did. Pearl Jam, still mad. Sitting there, lights came on. I'm like, I can't leave. They haven't played Jeremy yet. I know I'm older, and they're like, what the hell's a Jeremy? But it's a good song. They didn't play it. I'm still bitter. So yes, they're always going to play Spirit Away.
Yes.
Probably Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
We started Ghibli Fest with Princess Mononoke this year because it's the 25th anniversary. So if you ever stop by our booth at cons, we actually have exclusive Princess Mononoke 25th anniversary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that's going.
But yeah, so if you are going to be at New York Comic Con, definitely make sure to stop by. We're going to have an enormous presence for all of our brands. But Ghibli is going to have their own space. I believe it's their biggest space they've had at a convention yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have so many cool photo ops. We definitely we'll definitely bring out poor Totoro again. He likes to be petted, and if you can fit inside him, walk away. Mary Jeremy spoke to them. He's not. Oh man, these monsters. can always tell when the watchers are your same age. You spoke in class today, Mr. Mike's Monsters. Final thoughts. Ghibli, New York Comic Con, films, the future Ghibli, anything in your mind that you want to talk about, Marie, about Studio Ghibli that you feel like you have to leave on the table before you go or you'll hate yourself later?
Too much. I actually never answered Juan's question. I would recommend you start with Totoro, actually.
Skipped you?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
You tend to do that.
Sorry, because
Oh.
you're right next to me. I'm staring across there. It's like in like classrooms, like everyone wants to sit in the back, but like all teachers will tell you
They see
if
the
you
back.
want to be ignored, you sit in the front row because the teacher looks right over you. And so, they're never going to call on you. But I didn't get that memo, so I sat in the back my entire high school career, and I got called on
I was always
constantly.
in the front.
Yeah. Did you ever get called on?
No,
Plus, you're short.
I am short.
You
so
were probably
no
like,
one sees me.
they couldn't see you. I'm like this enormous monstrous beast in the back. They're like, oh, I can call him David. He's back there. He's
Yeah,
a
same.
loudmouth.
So I'll just leave. Like, I would recommend Juan to start with Totoro because it is the mascot. So it's probably a good entry into Ghibli. Other than that, if you did a marathon, I would say Whisper of the Heart and then Cat Returns because they're actually sequels to each other.
The Mike's Monsters, the 7th grade art teacher destroyed the class unexpectedly with Grave of the Fireflies without telling us what it was about.
What did you guys do for her to punish you with 7th grade in 7th grade with Grave of the
because
Fireflies?
it's art,
That Totoro's art?
but it's art.
You don't need to suffer that much.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
suffered. I
Anytime you're
didn't know
watching a
what it was
movie
about.
instead of learning, I think is a win anyway.
Did your teacher like you? I just need to know.
And so because Steven is much better at my job than I am, he's reminding us that we're going to have a contest. So Jay, tell us about this contest.
So right after this live stream, if you follow our socials, we are going to be sharing a special World of Ghibli contest. We'll have all the details there, but we have some of the prizes that we will be giving on the table right next to David.
Oh, I almost knocked over the art crystal puzzle.
Um,
This stuff.
right over there. Or you can drag it to the front. Just because we're celebrating, we have. What am I trying to say? I'm just getting distracted by all this pretty stuff.
Yes.
So a little World of Ghibli care package. We're going to be giving a paper theater ball. Everyone's favorite Totoro.
Mhm.
Something fun to get into. Try it out if you've never tried paper theater.
Mhm.
We're also giving away the Heen plush because who doesn't love Heen? He's cute, soft, and functional.
Cleans your desk.
Cleans your desk.
Very fuzzy.
Something new that we just came out with that we're also giving away is the Calcifer little mini towel. Right now we do have it as a set on our site, but join our giveaway and you'll get a little Calcifer with you.
May all your bacon burn.
And one more thing that we don't have on the table, it's a little exclusive, brand new. It's just like the art crystal, but it's a house version that we're going to be including in this package. So it's really cute art crystal, but Howl's Moving Castle themed.
So you'll have, instead of castle in the sky, you'll have another castle.
Another
Yeah,
castle.
another different castle. There's one
Nice.
castle.
With 4 chicken legs.
So make sure you're following at Bandai Collect and at World of Ghibli US. That'll be where we post the links probably later on today. I don't know if it's ready just yet. I haven't been given a graphic to put up yet, so I haven't made the contest. But it'll be up later today, we promise. But if you're following those 2 channels, we'll make sure to put it up there ASAP, and you can't miss it. But thank you so much for coming and letting us talk World of Ghibli with you guys. If you're going to New York Comic Con, make sure to stop by the Ghibli booth and, of course, all of our other booths. If you see us, make sure to ask for some free stuff because that's what we like to do. That's why we have our jobs. It's just to give you guys free stuff. And until next time, thank you guys for joining us so much. Hopefully you guys will come back again soon. It was an absolute delight. It's usually just Justin, me, and AJ. So I appreciate you guys classing up the joints, maybe making it a little less beastly affair. No offense, AJ. But until next time, we will talk to you guys another time and have a fantastic weekend. And make sure, do not back into your parking spots. It's a rule. Bye.